Welcome to the most outer part of our solar system, Pluto. Pluto is very far away from the Sun. It takes it about 248 years to orbit once. A single rotation takes 6 days. And it has a heart-shaped, as you can see here. This is like a heart-shaped, as you can see from the distance. And when you close it in, it's called Sputnik Planitia. Sorry, I'm a little bit ill, but I have to make a video, sorry. This is Sputnik Planitia, and here you can see Pluto's surface, which might be made up of nitrogen, methane, and ice. Pluto is 5 billion kilometers away from the Sun, which means 39 times. And Pluto is pretty small. Like, Earth is 500 times more massive than Pluto is. Gravity is so small you'd weight as a cat on Pluto. The temperature is going as slow as minus 233 to up to 233, which means the planet has an atmosphere, which is pretty thin, but it's able to sustain some heat. And it has a moon, Charon, which is the largest moon around the planet. It's almost as large as Pluto. They are nearly equal size, so they're like a binary planet, orbiting around one another. Charon is smaller and has a really big crater in this area somewhere. And it's also known to might have same elements as Pluto, and maybe it could have been captured to orbit around Pluto. There are some pictures taken from from Hubble and our telescope. And Pluto has a few moons too. Styx, Hydra, Kerberos. I think that's what we call those moons. This is, here as you can see, this is what is believed to be contained on the surface. These are like the first pictures. Pluto was discovered in 1936 by Clyde Tombaugh. If you want to know all of that stuff. Observatory in Arizona. Hubble Space Telescope. You have Wikipedia. Please know. New Horizons. New Horizons flew by Pluto in 2000. It was supposed to arrive at Pluto in 2015. And it did. This is the probe. As it is about to fly by Pluto. This probe, here's the camera. And one of these probes has those cards, like maps of a few pulsars on how to find planet Earth. And here are some rocks. They're not Pluto's satellites. Next dwarf planet we're gonna see is Eris. Sorry. Which is a little bit larger than Pluto, orbiting just a bit farther away. This planet also has a moon, which they forgot to include here. It's called Desdemona, I think. It's small moon. It's like one third of the size of this planet, or 1.2, 0.2. The radius. 0.2. As you can see, it's a little bit bigger than Pluto. And it's spinning pretty fast. Or I'm just imagining things. Aries. Most massive dwarf planet. 27% more massive than Pluto. Still smaller than Earth. It was discovered by Mike Brown. And it has eccentricity as well. Just like Pluto. It's a dwarf planet and it's very small. It orbits the sun itself. And the orbit, it takes it 557 years to orbit the sun, which is very, very long. But still, Pluto, even though it's so far away, still has an atmosphere, which is amazing. Next object we're gonna see is Haumea. This moon looks like a... As you can see, this shape is really weird shape. Moon. It looks like... Ooh. Someone's pulled it and stretched it and then did things through it. It's pretty wide and looks like it's been squashed. And 718 kilometers. Area I think is rotation axis, I think. 13 hours. Albedo 0.7. That is for the object brightness, by the way. But since it's this high, it has a little bit. I mean, no, I don't really know, but it's indicator of the object having ice. And if you look like this, you can see the object is like. It's like a, I don't know how to call it, real weird shape, like an egg that has like two sides the same. Next one is going to see is Ixion, which also has an orbit, but it's inclined a little bit. As you can see, this dwarf planet is known for being riddled with craters and it's 600 kilometers. And it takes it 246 years to orbit the sun once. And it's very, very far away from the sun. Very far. There is the sun, you can see. This is a small object. It's a Plutino. Plutinos are planets that are in resonance with planets with the solar system, with Neptune and Pluto. Next one we're gonna see is Makemake. Plutinos. Makemake looks like a, as you can see, reddish. Has reddish like it's made out of iron and this dark is very far from the sun. It's also a dwarf planet, the largest Kuiper belt object. And it could be a little bit larger than Aries. And the possibility of methane, ethane, and possibly nitrogen gases are pretty high because, as you can see, the surface has black patches and the temperature is minus 243 degrees. The black patches might be methane gas. I mean, it's so cold that methane turns into ice. Minus 240 degrees. This is Makemake. Ew. I don't know what I'm doing. Next one is Orcus. Sorry about that. We already saw that. Next one is God. I'm so good at reading names, man. You gotta give me that. And it's also same as it's. They're all like might not be even really discovered. Also, it has been discovered by Michael Brown, and it's a small object. It hasn't been so yeah. That's why you see the same rock, because the object hasn't been observed. This one has been, and it looks like this. This is Sedna. It's a very weird dwarf planet that takes 12,000 years to orbit the sun once. Pretty long time, and it takes 12,000, almost 13,000 years. It's 850 kilometers wide, and it takes 3 hours to spin around its axis. Which makes me think, what if it were struck by an object, and it made it rotate like that? And also the influence of Neptune pushed its orbit much farther away, or another dwarf planet, or Planet 9. NASA, of course. As you can see, the size. This is Kerberos. Pluto, Earth, Moon. Sedna is, well, half the size of our Moon, nearly. Artist's view of Sedna. This is how eccentric its orbit is. It goes really far away. This was the observing and how it was found. That's artistic. It looks very cool. QR. We already went there. I can't stop this because like so. You gotta bear with me, okay? Gotta disable that. So, the last one is Varuna. This one is in the Kuiper Belt object. It's also 450 kilometers wide, 284 years to orbit the Sun. Next we're gonna visit some asteroids. There are lots of rocks, asteroids and stuff, as you can see. I'm gonna visit some bigger ones. Bennu. This asteroid is 250 meters wide, actually. And it's a near-Earth object. And it's believed that it could one day crash into our planet. Next one is Ceres, which is the biggest object in the asteroid belt. It could also be a dwarf planet. Its surface is riddled with craters, of course, as it suggests here. It's an asteroid belt which is full of asteroids and rocks that constantly fall on this dwarf planet. It has some really bright craters. Sorry. And it's a dwarf planet. The smallest. And it has a third of the mass of our asteroid belt. It's icy object. Here are some pictures taken from telescopes. From Hubble. Hubble, solar system. Something just popped. Next one we're gonna do is Eros. This asteroid is 4 times bigger than the asteroid that this killed off the dinosaurs. 40 kilometers wide. That's the how wide it is. It looks like a boot when you look at it from another angle. It could be. It's right now. It's in near the Mars orbit, but it could be pushed off. Next one is Gaspar. However you wanna call it. This is an asteroid. It's 6 miles wide and takes 3 years to orbit the Sun. And it was discovered by Galileo. Galileo flyby. And it went Pluto when discovered the asteroid. Hydra. This asteroid has some satellites around it. It has 1 or 2 orbiting around it. Small, tiny rocks. Some outtakes for you. Just saying. This asteroid looks strange. And since they are in irregular shape, their rotation is also irregular. They are rotating in various directions, these asteroids. We have many of them. And another big one is Vesta. This asteroid is pretty big, and it's really close to become a dwarf planet, 262 miles. But it failed, and it became like this. It's a really big asteroid. If it were to hit Earth, game over. Next we're gonna visit comets. Let's see, Hartley comet. As you can see, it has eccentric orbit that takes it very far from this. It has a pretty eccentric orbit. Like every comet has. We have Halley comet, which comes at us at every 75 years or so. And it takes it 76 years to orbit the Sun once. And it's 6 miles wide. It's made out of dust and ice, and it looks like a bag, like a bean bag, when you hold it in the air. There is another Soho, which comes close to the Sun. As you can see here, here's another one, interesting one, Temple, which was a mission sent to this comet, and a probe was dropped into it to reveal some secrets, and it struck the surface and made a big crater. Next comet is Churyumov Gerasimenko, and it's two comets, like two objects stuck in one. Really, it's a big mess, I guess. Next comet. Here, as you can see, another one. They weren't observed closely, but here was discovered from It was discovered in France. In the constellation of Aquarius. In December 2020. No, wow. That was pretty early discovery of a comet. There are many comets in our solar system. They're zipping around. When they're coming into the solar system, they're moving very, very quick. And then when they go out, they're starting to slow down and speed up. That's how comets travel in our solar system. So yeah, that was all I wanted to talk about, guys, today. See you in the next video. Bye.